Hello everyone, welcome to Parametric Planet. In this video, I will develop a short script using a Grasshopper Python component to automate the group colors. When you have a large script and you have many components, you combine them in a group. For example, you have some input parameters, you have output parameters, and you have control parameters, and you want those grouped items to have a same color so that you can easily identify, okay, this one represents the inputs, this one represents the outputs, and this one represents the control parameters of my script. For that, you can use this Python script, and you can change the colors of these groups automatically. So to do this, we have to use the software development kit provided by the Rhino, which gives us the opportunity to access the different components or different functions in the Grasshopper using different methods and the classes given in Grasshopper SDK, software development kit. So as you can see here, you have Grasshopper documentation, GUI, base, canvas. So if you want to access these components or item of the Grasshopper, then you have to use these classes. And for instance, in skin, you can change the canvas back color, edge color, and the grids, and you can access them using Grasshopper Python component. So let's just start writing our script. So first of all, I would like to insert some panels and assign groups. And I also would like to insert some color swatch, make a color list. We'll group this one, and I will name it as input. Second one, group output, and third one, maybe I will not assign any group name to this one. And then we will assign some colors. And now I will write these group names in one panel. Input, output, and change into multi-line data. And now this component merge to convert these terms into a list. If you see the panel, now we have a list with 3 colors. So now we have to insert this Grasshopper Python component. And in order to access this one, we will double click on this small icon. And then we have this window to write our script. So let me assign these X and Y variables different names. For instance, this could be our group names. This could be our group colors. And I will connect this wire with the group names and this one with the group colors. And you have to be careful about this thing as we are connecting this input with the list, so it has to be list access, and this one too, otherwise it will give us an error. So if we have to access the Grasshopper component, so we have to import the Grasshopper in our Python script. So how can we do that? Just simply write import Grasshopper as gh. And now I have to access the current Grasshopper document. To do that, I will just write doc, or maybe current doc equal to Grasshopper environment. And now we can access the component. And then the attributes, owner, and on binge document. Actually, this command will activate the current document, and it will consider the objects present in this document. So when we have to access the objects, then we have to write object is equal to current doc dot objects. Now we have to create a loop, and with the help of this loop, we will check all the objects in our current document, and then we will choose only those objects which have groups. For instance, we have 3 panels and we assign 3 different groups. So in this loop, we will only select those objects which has a group name. So to do that, we can just simply write a loop for I in object. This I could be A, B, C, it doesn't matter. There has to be one variable which should go through the list of the objects and fulfill your condition. If type I, if the type of this object is, now we have to access the groups in the kernel. So to do that, we will just write Grasshopper. Then we have to write kernel. Then special dot. Now you have different functions here. You can just write group. And now you can access the groups. It will check all the objects if they are a group in this current document. So now we have to change the name of these groups into a string. So I will store this in a variable, let's say available group equal to our object. And then to access the name of any component or the object in the Grasshopper, we have to use this special name. It's called nickname in Grasshopper dot to string. So now it will convert this name into string. Now we will check if these group names are available in the group name list. So to do that, we will just simply write if statement, if available group in group names. Then we will make a we have to extract the color of those groups. So we will just simply write here one variable color list equal to group colors, the one we have defined, group colors, and then I have to pick those colors based on the index. So I will just write group names dot index dot available group. So this line of code, what it's actually doing, it's picking up the index of the group name based on the available groups. For instance, if we have a group name input, so it will go through this list and it will check if this name matches with this one, for instance input, then it will check the index of this group name. For instance, in this case it's 0. Then based on this index, this Python component will pick the color matches with that index. For instance, this one, in this list we have at 0 index this color. So when we have a 0, then we will have this color. When we have output, it's on index 1, then it will pick the index 1 and then assign this color to that group. So now I will just, now we have picked the colors, now I have to assign those colors to our object. So our object is I, and then we have this command in Grasshopper, COLOUR equal to color list underscore list. So, okay, when this condition is not satisfied, for instance, we don't have any group in this list, then for now we will just pass it to nothing. Let's just run this code and let's see if we have any errors. So it says group names is not defined. Yeah, you have to be careful with the upper and lowercase. Now it worked. So now if we see, we have these two objects. If I change the color of this one, it will automatically change. For instance, if I define another group with the same name, sorry, input, now if I rerun this component, now we will have the same color for this component. What else we can do? We can add a button here so that when we press that button, then it will refresh or rerun this code and then it will assign the colors. So we will just write here refresh, and then I will just insert one button, and I will just write here to activate this if refresh when the button is pressed, then it runs this code and then we'll have our colors. Just to the indentations. So, okay, let's just test this code. If I just change the color of this one, let's say green. So now if I press OK, now we see the color has been changed. Similarly, here, yeah, the color happens here. So now we have another panel, another group which doesn't have any name. So I will just write here when the color is, when the group is not in the list, then assign I.C equal to, now you can create your own colors. Just write rs dot create color, and then you can just define the code, for instance 25500, and okay. And if you see now, it has luckily the red. Let me change this one to then. So the same. We have some I dot color. Let's put it 50. RGB. Just change this one to 3. Now we have different color here. So that's how you can change the colors and you assign different colors to the different groups. So if you want to, for instance, if you want to change the background of your canvas, so let's go to SDK documentation. And yeah, in here, so for instance, if I want to change the canvas background color, so I will just copy this and I will just in this for loop. I have to change this into gh.skin canvas back, and if I just copy paste this color, let's see. Yeah, so see, so that's how you can access the different components, and you can develop your own component in Grasshopper. So that's all for this video, and I hope now you will be able to create your own components for different groups, and not just the groups. Maybe you can try to change the grid colors, or maybe you try to access the author's information. Yeah. And yeah, if you have any comments and if you have any confusions, please write in the comments, and then we will discuss in the next tutorial. And I would suggest you to please go through the documentation of the Python. At least you have some knowledge about how to create the for loops, what are tuples, what are lists, what are dictionary. This might help you to use this Python component, and in my opinion, it's very useful because you can reduce your script just by using this inbuilt Python functions. And yeah, that's all. And I wish you a very good day, and see you next time. Bye-bye.